Hello everyone. We're going to learn how to make applications for the Apple iPhone, iPad, and other iOS applications. Uh, Please note that this is not, tutorial for developing applications for the Mac or the Safari. It is purely for the iPhone, iPad, and iOS applications. First things first, to ensure that you can do applications on the iPhone and iPad, you would have to have a Mac machine. You can't do development on a Windows based machine, so you would need to have an Intel based Mac machine. It can be a Mac laptop, it can be a Mac desktop, or you can also buy a Mac mini and connect it with peripheral USB, keyboard, mouse, etc. Once you've organized yourself with Apple machine, you would then need to do the first step of starting the applications, starting to build the applications, which is basically to download the Xcode. Now to do that, I apologize, I don't use Safari too much, so I'm going to show you on Chrome. That's much easier for me. So we can use either, but let's use Chrome. I'm more comfortable with that. What you need to do is go to developer.apple.com. And then if you see, it says iOS Development Center. Now this is where you would find all the tutorials, help, guidelines, etc. for developing applications for iPhone or iPad, and other iOS devices that Apple may come up with in future. What we need to do is, first you would need to get registered yourself as a developer. So if you already have a developer ID, you can straight away click on login and download the SDK and the Xcode. Otherwise, you would need to click on register, and then you would need to basically get started. Fill in your details. You need to create an Apple ID, continue. Fill in your details over here, and once you've done that, you would be approved as a developer for the iOS. Now we're going to go back slightly, and we can log in. Once we have the ID, we can log in. So I'm going to use my details for now. Yep. Once you've logged in, the first thing that you want to do is basically download the package that you would need for developing the iPad and iPhone applications. So you go to download. You would see that the downloads available for you are written down. There's a list of downloads. So I would recommend you download the one that is free. Again, please remember, when you register for being a developer, you would be asked to opt for a $99 a month, sorry, $99 a year package. Now that's something that we would do at a later stage, but at this point of time, I don't recommend you to opt for that license. We can download the Xcode 3.2.6, iOS SDK 4.3. If you want to download the README file, you can do that as well. But yeah, we're going to go with the free registration initially, and then once we've done our first applications, we would basically buy the license for the developer, which I think will cost you $99 a year. Again, depending on which country you are, the prices may vary, but as far as I know, it's $99 a year. So again, now when you click on Xcode 3.2.6 and iOS SDK 4.3, it would basically ask you to download a file, which would be a DMG file. since I already have downloaded the applications, I'm not going to go do that again. But depending on your internet speed, it can take hours to download that application. You need to ensure that when the download is on, you turn your power preferences to never, because if you leave the computer unattended for a while, it would basically shut down itself or maybe go to sleep. So you need to turn that preferences off. Again, if the computer is attended, then you can monitor the download, but it took me about 6 hours to download the SDK. It was around 2.5 GB. So yeah, this is the first step. Once you've downloaded the Xcode and the SDK and installed it, they would look like this. So Xcode, panel, dashcode, and instruments. Most probably, once you've downloaded them, they would appear on your developer folder. On your hard drive, you would see that there's a folder called developer, and your applications would be within the developer folder. So yeah, please go ahead and download the Xcode and the iOS SDK, and once you've done that, in the next tutorial we'll see how to do the first basic steps, how to go about doing the iPhone and iPad applications. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Please download this again, and we'll carry on with the next tutorial, tutorial number 2, and get started on the development part. Thanks a lot again. Cheers.